Simran is a social media manager with Jam PR. He specializes in digital marketing, particularly through the various social media platforms, and helps get people and businesses noticed through social media best practices, content creation, and engagement.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Here, are you guys able to see?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So when preparing for this speaker session with Sarah and Anne-Marie, Anne-Marie brought up some great perspective about what it's like to be on the other side of marketing for a science fair. So with this speaker session, I know a lot of you are volunteers, you're teachers, you spend a lot of your time doing other things. So I want to make sure that this presentation is as fundamental, basic, and as useful as possible. So with this presentation, I'll go through things like which platforms to use, what to do on each platform, when to post, and even what to post. So without further ado, let's start. So in marketing for a science fair or just marketing in general, the main thing to think about is your why. So what is the goal that we're trying to achieve here? So with a science fair, the main goal is, of course, the students and getting the students excited about science, and in return, getting more students to participate in science fairs. Secondly, we want to raise awareness about the event. So who is this event for? What is a science fair? When is the science fair happening? Where is it happening? And why we're even doing this? Answering these questions can help answer people's thoughts before they even ask them to. And also, of course, highlighting students' projects and building a community. And the way to reach these goals is through, I found social media and PR very helpful in reaching these goals. So starting off with social media, there's 4 main platforms that I feel are really helpful in marketing for a science fair. First being Instagram. It's a very visual platform. You can really tell a story, even looking through a feed. You can really, it really does tell a story, and you can really figure out, you can answer a lot of questions just through looking at someone's feed. With Twitter, it's a great place to give updates. It's very interactive. Some people use it as a place for fast support. So it's a lot of asking questions and answering questions. LinkedIn is very business oriented. I'm sure a lot of you are on LinkedIn, and it's a great way to find volunteers. And Facebook, it's great for brand awareness. And of course, it's the largest platform that we have. So with Instagram, like I said before, it's a very visual, platform. So posting a lot of aesthetically pleasing photos and graphic goes a long way. Using resources like Unsplash, where you can get free high quality pictures, or using Canva, where you're able to create graphics and they have their own templates, so it's very easy for you. Next, you want to provide value in the things you post, the content that goes out to your followers. So if you look at examples over here in this screen grab from our science fair Instagram account, we have like tips for your presentation, components of a project report, interpreting your results. So maybe it may be hard sometimes thinking of what to post, and sometimes it's what's already there. So a lot of the times we do workshops, there's already resources on our websites, and you can actually repurpose and recycle those and create them into short short form content where you can actually use what you already have and make that into a post. So it makes it not only easy for you, but it creates uniformity in all your in everything that you're posting. And also it's a great platform to promote upcoming events like workshops, deadlines, registration deadlines, things like that. Next we have Twitter. Caroline, you're right over there. So yeah, like I said before, it's a great place to share information quickly and start conversations with people in your target audience. Like the example we have here, when UFE was awarded the Community Matters award for their role in organizing the Fraser Valley Regional Science Fair. It's a great place to share news like that, good news of maybe student success or things like this, receiving awards. And it's also great for connecting with other regions and organizations. You're not always in battle with other people who may be wanting the same thing. Sometimes it's better to collaborate, and this is a great platform to do that. Sometimes the hardest part is actually just starting. So I've included a good accounts to follow to start off: the Science World Teacher Resource, UBC Science, and even the Canada-wide Science Fair Twitter page. Next, we have LinkedIn. So it's a great tool for science fairs because so many people that are involved in science fairs are on this platform. A lot of students are on there, teachers, volunteers, and even something I know you guys talked about in your last speaker session. You can even find sponsors on there as well. So it's a perfect platform for that. And even in the example I've shown below, we recently leveraged this platform to help find volunteers for the West Kootenay Regional Science Fair. So it's a great way to find people, connect with people where they can message you, but you can send out messages to them as well. Last year with the platforms, we have Facebook. I would say it's less important than the other three platforms, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have its purpose in marketing for a science fair. It's still the largest platform, and there's a wide variety of demographics that are on here. Like the other two, Twitter and LinkedIn, it's also great for providing updates. Like here we have a few US finalists that were able to receive a scholarship from UBC. And also a lot of people use it as a second website. So instead of going to your website for information, sometimes they'll reach your Facebook instead. Or they'll look for your contact information, maybe they'll look for your email, phone number, when the event is taking place. So it's really important to always keep that information updated and up to date because you never know who is using what platform to get the information that you're trying to send. So going from platforms to actual nitty gritty of marketing for a science fair, how often should you be posting for a science fair? I would say a great rule of thumb is to at least start posting when registration is live, if not even before that, maybe a week before, to get people ready to register. So before the event, I would say 1 to 2 times a week to post is good for updates, important dates, stuff like that. And then when ramping up for the event, 2 to 3 times a week, just to build up that hype, that momentum for the event. During the event, I'd say it's all hands on deck. You want to post every day. If it's a 1-day event, then throughout the day. If it's a few days or a week, I would say every single day would be a good rule of thumb. And after the event, 1 to 2 times a week. Now from when to post to what to post. Before the event, like I said, important dates, provide updates, deadlines, just a lot of promotion for the event. Act like people know nothing about the event. So just you kind of have to teach them just like they're your students or something like that. Get like walking them with every single thing that you can answer if you're on the other side of the screen. And then during the event, it's all about showcasing the event, how many people are there. You can use things like Instagram stories to your advantage here, where you can um, uh, showcase the event and how many people are there, what the projects are. And then after that, a lot of people think that when the event is over, that's it, and that's not the case. The job's not finished after the event. You want to, there's a lot of questions that can be answered still, like maybe people weren't able to make the event, so who won? What were the projects? Maybe down the road, students are able to make advancements in their projects. Um, they're able to get publicity somehow. But you want to provide updates on that. And while you still have the attention from everybody now, you may want to tease the event for next year to leverage the audience you have right now to promote next year while you still have their attention. Now, moving on from social media to PR, you may be wondering why do I even need PR? And there's three main reasons to do PR: exposure, credibility, and search engine optimization. So with exposure for a science fair in particular, you want to maintain a good reputation in the public, but not only that, you want also other people to know about your event. So going using PR, leveraging that to get more people to know about your event. And included that is the credibility that comes with being in reputable publications. When people are when you're in publication, like say like a Daily Hive or a Vancouver Sun, it gives your event the legitimacy that it needs. And lastly, search engine optimization for people are when you're in credible publications, that allows search engines like Google to help put your website up on top when they're searching for, let's say, Science Fair BC. Then things like the Science Fair Foundation pop up. So that helps search engines um, drive your event to the right spot. When to pursue PR. Sometimes this can be tricky, but to figure out when you should be doing this. But a few examples I have here are when you have a unique angle to pitch, and that could go along with the second point of student success stories. Maybe how this year is back to an in-person fair, that could be a unique angle, or student success stories. I know in the past we've had students that have done really well with their science fair. You could leverage that to not even only help them, but also raise the profile of your science fair. And also getting into event listings like Daily Hive listed um, or different event listings like that to get more people to come to your event, or more people to even register for your event. Pursuing PR can be tricky, but if you have media connections, say in your with your local newspaper or news website, you could contact them directly. Otherwise, I think it's best to get a professional to help you with that, because they're the ones who have the connections with certain publications of where you want to go. So if you want coverage, I would say getting the help from a professional is much easier. And last off, I'll just end off with a tip here of when you're looking to pitch a certain angle for PR. Pictures are really important, not only for PR. This could be used for social media as well. But in the PR sense, taking pictures that are in landscape view rather than portrait are really important, because when you're when these publications are posting, landscape photos tend to do better on their websites. You want to make sure you have good lighting, making sure things aren't overexposed or underexposed. So making sure the light source is hitting what you're trying to take a picture of. Something as simple as having a bad picture could get your article to be rejected. So sometimes it's the little things. It's the little things you can focus on that can get you big exposure down the road. Other than that, that's it for my presentation. Are there any questions? No, awesome.
Okay. I mean, in terms of marketing and outreach, if there are any questions that come up later, or if anyone wants a bit of a deeper dive into any of these, we can definitely look into that. But as for now, thank you, Simran and Marie. Very enlightening. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And if there's anything else anyone wants to talk about, but if not, I'll give everyone some minutes.
Thanks for telling us when to post and what to post and where to post, right? Because that is, yeah, it seems like a formula that will work.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes it seems like things that are really simple, but sometimes you just need those that helps with of those little things to help get you started. The more you do it.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I know on Splash to get free, royalty-free photos. Is there anything like that to get little animations or like? Because I can't draw, so I'd love to be able to get people images or something.
On those websites like Unsplash and Pexel, sometimes we'll have if you look up when you're typing what you want in, there's options for videos and things like that are also free to use. Because a lot more video content is popular, especially on sites like Instagram. That's what they're promoting now. So these websites are up to date on that. You can get videos, animations, things like that for free as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll look for that first feature.
Is there anybody other than old people like myself that use Pinterest?
I used to years ago.
I don't know. I think when I look at all my students and all the apps that they have, I use Facebook and a little bit of Instagram, but that's kind of, I'm trying to get away from my phone as much as possible. But when I was in the Greater Vancouver, we have a Facebook page, and it was really hard because even we would have trouble actually having someone posting regularly on it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the kids really use Facebook that much anymore. So yeah, I don't know. There's so many of them.
Yeah, and actually, I have a question. I am self-admitted. I don't read social media. I don't understand it. I know you said you should post certain times, like the week before and everything. You should have somebody ready to respond to that stuff pretty quickly. Like, what's the time frame when if a student asks a question on Twitter at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday? What's an appropriate time frame that they would expect a response?
It all, yeah, it all depends on you really. For something like Twitter, it is more should be a lot faster response, I would say, because it's a more conversational app. So I would say within an hour or two. But with other platforms, I would say it could be like a day or so where you could respond back. But the faster, the better, I would say. That's why you can have notifications if people do respond to you, that could come straight to you, and then you can answer that. And you can figure out whether it's something that's time sensitive or not, but you can get back to it later, or it requires your attention in the moment.
Okay, so when you're talking about all hands on deck period, where it's during the science fair, someone
Yeah.
be ready to answer the question pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say they're an instant gratification group. I blame it on the eye Apple iPhone, and they want you to tell them 5 seconds after you posted the answers. So, yeah, don't stress if you don't answer them right away. They can learn that it's a human, not a computer, giving that answer. In my district, I deal with the My Education BC accounts, the portal accounts. Some of you may have kids in schools where you're dealing with My Ed and your portal account. I reset all the passwords. I only work 7:30 to 5, Monday to Friday, not on holidays, not on weekends. I'm sorry, I am not answering you at 12:01 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm sleeping. So they need to
Your
learn.
boundaries.
It's not all instant gratification. So
I
Too bad.
am.
Too bad there wasn't a reverse captcha where you could send something that I am not a robot.
yeah, yeah. I have it everywhere. We have like forms that they can go on and ask for a reset, and it's like, this is done by a human during these hours, and they'll call the board office. I can't get my account reset. Well, yeah, they were sleeping on the weekend. Leave them be.
I have a question. So if you're like, let's say you're using more than one social platform. So for example, like Twitter and Facebook, do you post like do you make the same posting at the same time, or does this depend on, I don't know, certain like engagement?
It depends on the type of what you're posting, I would say. A lot of the things I do for like science fairs and youth innovation showcase, it's something that can go on all the platforms. A lot of times it's updates or some type of like useful information. But sometimes if it's something like I showed for LinkedIn, we had the volunteer positions. That's something I strictly posted on LinkedIn or Twitter, because the audience to find those people were really on those platforms. So it really depends on what you're posting, and that's why in my presentation it's like, this is why this platform is useful for this purpose most of the time.
I like when Christina and I are asking all the questions because Simran are a social media person. We don't have to know this stuff. Okay. Are there any other questions?
What I find here is it's really hard to get someone willing to step up and just do this part of it, the social media part of it. The person that did it for us moved to the island, and so it always, I work with a lot of tech non-savvy committee members, so it always falls on the person who works for the tech department of the school district. I'm not a teacher. I am a support staff. I teach and train secretaries and teachers how to use My Ed. That's what I do. But I don't want to be the tech person for every committee and every group that I sit on. But it seems like that's my job. How do I get somebody else to learn how to do it and have somebody else take that and start running with it so that it's, I need a user guide for dummies or something, one of those books that says, here's the easy way to do this.
Well, actually, here's a question. From your point of view, Darcy, Jenny, and Caroline, and Simran, is this something that can be done remotely? Like Jenny, you're in Northern BC. Can someone on Vancouver Island do social media? Is that possible?
Extremely possible. We did have that for the longest time. The lady that left did do it, but she's a teacher. She's now getting more involved in the area where she lives. So we've lost that resource. But one thing, because I also am the president of our CUPE union here for the support staff, and we set up a page because, I knew how to use the program and build a website. And what they've done is it's built by CUPE National. And then any information that comes from CUPE National or CUPE BC is then pushed to our websites as well. So they can be updating our sites for us. And then we just have to go in and post and say, okay, here's the new stuff locally. But they're also still getting all that information that they need. So I'm curious if that's something that maybe Youth Science Canada could look at doing, is pushing their stuff out and then allowing, say, Science Fair Foundation BC to be our middleman and pushing your data out, and then we just update for our region. It's all the same platform. The Science Fair platform, as well as my union platform, as well as my work platform, are all the exact same program.
What program is it?
WordPress.
Oh. I'm writing that down.
If you follow Science Fair Foundation or some of those other ones, you can retweet or add on to a tweet and respond to it, and then it comes up in your social media as well. And so some of the stuff that Simran showed in the screen capture, I took those and resent them out when it was more timely for kids in our region to see something about graphs or see something about how to get your questions, those sorts of things. So I was just borrowing good data, good stuff, and it helps. It's great that those little blue content things with the tornado.
Yeah.
No,
Chevrons?
it's the thing that curls around and a little icon. Anyway, yeah, that's what they're called, chevrons. Yeah. Kind of like bullet points, but you can't say bullet points anymore. Yeah, so those things on there, those were great to cycle back out to I don't know if any of our kids actually looked at them. They didn't, but I assume that some of them would have picked up some of that information.
Yeah, a lot of that information was actually taken from a lot of the workshops that we did last year, but sometimes people don't have time to look at a whole 50-minute workshop, so it's easier to condense that into just like a post that's easy for them to use. And definitely, yeah, feel free to steal those, use them whenever you want. And also, if you guys have, sorry.
Theft is a form of flattery.
But yeah, if you guys have updates that I would say would go to the general Science Fair community, that's something you can send to me, and I could put that on the Science Fair Foundation social media platforms that I could send out to make it easier for you guys. If there's something that's specific to your region that might be different, that's something you may want to post on your own feeds. But if it's something more general, I would say it'd be great to send to me. Or if you're tweeting something at something, we could reshare from the Science Fair accounts as well.
That's what tagging is, right? Like if Darcy tagged us, Science Fair Foundation BC, you would see that in their account manager and then
definitely
send it, whatever, and get the bigger push, right?
Yeah, definitely.